I think with that mentality, when you bring it back to mindset, it's about, for me, it's about, I don't care if you take away everything that I've ever created. I have like a knowing that I'll do it better and bigger next time. And for me, that's what takes away that fear.
It's not easy to do what you do every day. What I mean by that is you started your journey alone, and now when I look from distance, everything's amazing. You run successful business. I came here a few times. I feel so good, so professional, from the music to the staff to treatment that people are getting here. Everything looks so great. But I know what it takes to get to this stage. And I know you probably a little bit more than most people, so I know how hard you work. I don't like to use word hustle because I don't think you hustle at all. You're just so good at your craft, you're giving it all, and you just make things happen. So to you, it's normal to do what you do, and you're so passionate. So you don't hustle in a way because you just thrive at it. Who is Danielle?
Who's Danielle? Danielle, that's a very big question. Danielle is somebody that's still learning.
And you always will?
Yeah, 100%. Danielle is somebody that is a beautiful friend, a daughter, a wildly obsessed business owner. But yeah, ultimately someone that's definitely still on a journey and will be for the rest of my life. Yeah, but I'm so glad that you think it's squeaky clean from the outside, because it definitely isn't, for sure.
I know.
It's always...
I feel like when you run your business, you're literally like a duck.
Yes.
It's so peaceful. There's a little feet just going so fast.
Yeah.
When you were in your, I guess, early 20s, not that you are far off early 20s, yes. But when you were starting your journey, your life journey, you had two choices. You had choice either to work for somebody all your life, nothing wrong with that if there's the path you choose, or you have option to choose path that looks so amazing. You can do whatever you want, you can earn as much as you want, but it's also extremely painful path as well, because you are going into a space where you haven't been before, where there's so much more to learn. I mean, baby crawls first before he starts walking, before he starts running. And I feel like when you're starting your business, there's no difference to the little baby. So you had two options. Why did you choose to go and conquer the world on your own?
Yeah, it's a good question.
When I say on your own, you didn't go and marry a guy and have babies straight away. So you're focused on, I want to stand on my own 2 feet. I want to fucking conquer the world. I want to do it myself. I don't want to just marry into money. And that goes for men and women, I guess. You wanted to stand on your own feet, head first. I'm choosing this path. Why?
Yeah. I've just always been independent. And you know what? Mum just always raised me to be... whether it's a bad belief or a good belief, but Mum's thing was never trust a man, because she was with a man that then left her, and so she had nothing. So I was raised by a woman that said to me, never trust a man, do your own finances, do your own thing. And then I was also raised by 2 older brothers that were they made me do everything on my own, and if I wasn't on my own, I was with them, which made I had to keep up with them. So I've always had that mentality that I am capable and I can do it, and I prefer to work solely. Like, that's not to say, like, I'm definitely in a phase in my business where I would look at bringing other people on, but the last decade has been on my own, and I enjoy the fact that I have created it on my own. I just think anybody's capable, to be honest, if you are wildly obsessed about it and you put all that time in and work and mentality.
It's interesting to see what human body can handle and what human mind can handle. I interviewed an amazing lady this morning. She had she had a massive car accident some time ago, and she had few surgeries, not 1, not 5, not 10, not 20, not 30. She had 69 surgeries.
Shit, yeah.
So she's supposed to be dead 69 times, literally. And but she was so persistent to live life and keep moving forward, because after a while you get tired, including business as well. I mean, in business, when you're on your journey, we all hit the wall and you get tired, you get frustrated, you come home so late, you leave so early. When you're home, your mind is buzzing, you know, and early stages of any business, you're so stressed out. You got to get clients, you got to get staff, you got to make sure they get paid, if there's anything left for me. So all that mind has to handle. And I always say your mind is your best friend and your biggest enemy. Nobody can beat you more than your mind. So was it easy?
It definitely wasn't easy. When you were just talking about it then, the first thing that popped into my head is, I just feel like I'm the sort of person that I thrive in
Pressure.
being pressured, being the unknown. As much as I like to have security and safety, like most women, I think like when somebody says to me, I don't think that you're going to be able to do it, I don't know, like I'm like, watch me. Like I just have this, whether it be ego, whether it be like, I just love to be able to do things that most people think I'm not capable of, or most people, you know, get a little bit frightened of. So I think with that mentality, when you bring it back to mindset, it's about, for me, it's about, I don't care if you take away everything that I've ever created. I have like a knowing that I'll do it better and bigger next time. And for me, that's what takes away that fear. Yes, I'm very big on risk analysis and that kind of thing, and I always have a plan, but at the same time, it's like, if that plan doesn't go through, or if you take away B, C, I'll just recreate it anywhere. I'll do something else. Like the world is my oyster. Like I've got other skills. And I think if your listeners can take away anything from that, it's like never keeping everything in one basket, is to continue to evolve as a person, as a woman, create your network, and opportunities will always come to you. And I've always been, whether I have angels, I don't know, I don't want to get woo-woo, but I honestly do feel like I'm always supported and I'll always work it out.
I had a sister that passed away, and I truly believe that she's an angel watching all over my shoulders every single day. But sometimes I think, can you just hide? You don't want to watch me do all sorts of shit, you know what I mean? So just watch all the good stuff. If I'm doing anything stupid, just hide there and ignore me, my beautiful sister, for a minute. What was your hardest part of your business journey?
Staff and HR, definitely. Somebody did say that to me before I started, is culture is going to be like HR staff is going to be the hardest. So I thought, if I'm coming into business and everyone keeps telling me that culture, HR is going to be the hardest, then that's definitely what I'm going to focus on the most. So I've always focused everything on making sure that my staff, first and foremost, are really, really happy. And I think that like people sometimes will argue that all customers come first and clients come first. But if you don't have a really good team, then your customers aren't looked after. And I think it's the team that are treating the clients. And I always go back to, people don't remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. And it's like sprinkled through everything that we do. So if my team are feeling gorgeous, feeling open, feeling nurturing, feeling all of that and feeling full, then the clients feel that as well.
You know what? All my life, which is interesting, that's not me, I think it's you and every other probably business owner. There's everything we have ever done, specifically in start of our journey, first 10 years, you put yourself last. So you focus on business, it's almost like a human. You focus on every single staff member, you focus on clients, running the business, I guess, on a daily basis. And the last thing that we actually focus on, treating our own body, our own mind, starting from how we eat, how often we actually go to doctor and check ourselves. Are we freaking, you know, I feel like first 20 years in business, I was heart attack walking. How the fuck I didn't have a heart attack? Who knows, right? Because always so intense. You never have time to breathe. You never really take 3 days off not to think, because even on a holiday, your mind is still buzzing. So you really don't have time to reflect, to breathe, to smell the roses like we discussed before. So any business owner that I ever talk to them about, they never say, you know what, I put myself first. We put ourselves last. It's like we don't. It's like, you know what? We're gonna live like a fucking dinosaurs. We're never gonna die. So it's okay. Let's just suffer for 20 years so one day we can live. But the truth is, I think that we all have to learn how to balance and put ourselves first. It doesn't mean we have to be mean to every person that works with us or clients and so on. But you know what? You are important. You need to put yourself as a priority because, you are the most important person in your life because there's the only person that you have control of, which is you. So I think, every entrepreneur needs to work on changing this, including myself. I think I'm really good at it now.
I'm going to give you some tips.
Yeah, I'm really good
I'm ready.
at it now. But do you know what I mean? So, but I think when you care so much about your journey and your business as well, you do put everybody else first, and then Danielle is the last person that walks through the door.
I'm going to disagree with you there. Not that I disagree with Emil very often.
Well, if you put yourself first, that makes me happy.
I do. I really do. And it definitely wasn't in
because I
the
have
start.
never done that. With me, I always put everybody else first, and that could be whatever
it's not a
it
good
is.
thing or a bad thing, right? And to anybody listening, it's definitely not. Nothing's good or bad. You have to do what fits you at that time in your life. But I definitely, for the first 5 years of my business, like I'm still very baby. I've been doing it for only a decade, but for the first 5, it was barely eating, losing weight, like hustle around the clock. Like I was wearing all the hats. Not at the start.
Correct.
But I think now I know the importance, and if I had that training in the beginning, I know the importance of Danielle having her cup full so I can actually show up for my team, so I can have these conversations and be present with you and be present with the other people that are important in my life. And I think it's so important to actually be like, do the trip, do the pay rise that you want first before you pay your other the rest of the culture, all of those sort of things, because ultimately, I always bring business back to motherhood. However, I'm not a mother. I think it's
you got a dog, didn't you?
Dog mum.
I got 3 dogs. I'm definitely 3 times
Dog
there.
mum. I think if you are healthy and happy, then it spreads through the rest of your brand, through your culture, through your team. You can handle anything. And the one thing that really made me learn that is I had setback after setback after setback. And I was like, I'm fucked. Like, you give me one more setback, I'm done.
Yes.
Like, BC is done, I'm out, tapping out. And I thought, this is not a healthy space to be in. I promised myself I'd never let myself get back there. And you can probably see this full open and vulnerability here, is you can probably see this in the numbers a little bit because I'm not driving it as hard. But my culture is really happy. Like, the team are really, really happy. The clients are so satisfied more than ever. Like, yes, I'm making a little bit less profit, but when you bring it to like what's important to you, and for me, it's fucking happiness. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, that's for me.
Look,
health and happiness is everything.
At this stage, when we are chasing something, you really don't know what happiness is, right? Because when I was a young boy, I wanted to have, dream one day I'm gonna have a Ferrari, and that's my dream. Now I have Ferraris, I have Porsche, Lambos, Bentleys. I don't even know what I have, and I got like 6 cars coming. And now, when I'm over this hill, now to me, somebody asked me, "What is success to you?"
What is success to you?
Happiness.
Yeah. What is happiness?
Well,
tell me.
Starts every morning, which is very little things. Every morning when I wake up, which is 4 a.m., very dark. I'm so grateful for everything. So I start my day with happiness because I'm grateful. So that's how I start my day. I'm grateful for I have most amazing mom and dad. I have brother, his family, and I wake up next to dogs, and what I mean. So I'm just grateful for I'm breathing. I have strength within me to make decisions, to make impact on my life and others. So with me, my happiness is I'm so grateful, and I'm so in a space that I know what life is, and I know meaning of one life, and I know that we're only tourists here because I'm freaking 44. Even I act sometimes like I'm freaking 18, but I'm 44. Technically, if I get to live to fucking 88, which there's a very small chance that will happen, but let's say it does, I'm half dead. half journey.
Oh, that's rich. That is powerful.
But I'm
I love
half
that.
dead. Now, first 44, you kind of, everything's go. The second 44 was like, man, I'm going to be fucked after 65, you know what I mean? So technically, I only got like 20 of really strong years within me. But I know the meaning of life. I know the value of my time. Like, there's no way right now in my happiness, I so choose who I want to spend time with. I don't care who you are, unless you're going to either give me dose of love, happiness, energy, positivity, or I can learn.
All the above.
Otherwise, you're fucking gone.
Yeah.
15 seconds. So my day starts with being grateful. And then I meditate for maybe one split second. And my meditation is, you know what? I'm going to have an amazing day. So put nice, happy thoughts in my head. Because if you wake up in the morning, you can think about negative shit, fucking cry all day, not even go anyway. So I'll put my mind in a happy space and I am going to own the day. There's nothing that I can't do. There's nothing that I can't achieve. And but being grateful that I know I'm capable is also huge. This is also powerful what I'm about to tell you. So we had event in Sydney, Jordan Belford. And there's one amazing lady that I've been talking to in Sydney. Never met her in my life. And she's always telling me, you know, my nephew, he really looks up to you, Emil. He really looks up to you. And so I knew about that nephew. Anyway, Jordan Belford is speaking, just started, and I'm just sitting on the side. And she sent me a message. She said, Danielle is there. I was like, is that the Daniel that you told me about? She said, yes. He had car accident, age 20. His brother died, and he had permanent brain damage.
Wow.
So he's literally working on maybe 10% of him. And she said he's got the last seat in the house. Straight away, I literally ran. I found him, grabbed him by the hand, took him. Jordan Belford is here. I put a chair right in front of him, sit, and after that, you know, we did photos and then we flew him to the Gold Coast as well, and he watched our last event. But point I wanted to make, he had so much pain in his life and lost his brother, which is terrible, had massive accident himself with brain damage, and is still willing to learn and give it a go.
Fuck, that's incredible, isn't it?
So what the fuck do you have complaint, Danielle?
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what I mean? Because you wake up
Literally.
in the morning, you have clear mind. Clear mind.
Two legs that work. I can see.
Well, I don't know if they work. Sometimes people work for 20 hours a day. It's like, I can't feel my fucking body at all. But the point is, you know, you're capable. You can see, you can feel, you can love. You can, you know, do you know what I mean? And so to me, that is happiness. So for me to wake up in the morning and think, oh, you know what? I pick up Ferrari or Lamborghini or Bentley, and what do I drive today? I don't give a flying fuck about that. That's just little bits and pieces that, you know, we do because I guess we can, or we like it, or enjoy it, or whatever. But my true happiness is I'm so happy within. In the morning, I am waking up also with extremely clear mind. You know, you'll never see me drunk. You'll never see me off my face in any means. I go to bed, and in the morning, I am so ready to conquer the day. And happiness is knowing that I'm going to use this day so wisely, because today is the day that you never lived before. Once it's over, it's one day closer to your ultimate destination, and that is Danielle being 10 fucking feet under.
They said to me one day that 70,000, you've probably heard this before, off the back of what you're saying is, don't quote me on the numbers, but you get an average 70,000 amount of days. 70,000 days on this earth. Like, what the fuck? When you actually put it into perspective, it's like 70,000 days. I ain't wasting one of those, you know?
That's what I'm saying. So that's what happiness is to me, knowing that, being so grateful. Of course, I want to achieve more. I want to give more. I want to love more. I want to be more passionate. All that is okay. But starts with, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I just woke up, you know. What is your happiness?
What's my happiness? Happiness for me is definitely having freedom. And I know a lot of people say that, but I don't like to be confined. I don't like to be restricted. I like to be able to have a bit of flow and
Which
a
is
little bit
interesting,
of choice.
because when you are running your business, we think we got freedom, but then you really squeeze that freedom to the minimum because you work 3 times harder, you 3 times more pressure on yourself, that you don't almost have time to breathe at a time, specifically, let's say first 4 years of your business.
Definitely the first 4 years for sure. I don't want to say, like, I'm probably working the least I've ever worked. And I don't know if that's, I'm just, as I said to you before we went on camera, I'm just in a phase, and we all go through seasons. I'm so sure you can agree. And this season right now it was always my thing this year. And I always have a word for the year. It's like simplify. It's been build, expand, build.
Simple.
This year was keep things simple and just simplify everything that we do, but be really fucking good at it. And we've really honed in on that, and it's shown. And even when it comes to my communication, it's simple.
But saying that, I will also disagree with you here for a second.
Go.
I can never date this woman. We'll kill each other in the fucking first 2 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? Like, just go.
No, I love it.
I'll tell you why I will not disagree in a sweet way, I guess.
Tell me.
You now work harder than ever in a different way. So I can imagine probably similarities between two of us. Majority of my business life, I felt like what's your favorite sport? Team sport.
Gymnast. Oh, team sport.
Let's call it
football.
Football. Okay. So all my life, and potentially most of your life, we are like a football players. So you're on the field. And we are running, the ball is here, ball is there. You don't know where the hell you're going, right? You're just running, make quick, decisions. Okay, I'm going to run left, I'm going to run right, I'm going to defend, I'm going to score or whatever. You're just running like a mad woman or mad man in my case. But 3 years ago, or 2 years ago specifically, I've stepped back. I'm a coach now of my team. So now I see my team players, and I am, same like you, I've worked the least. When it comes to technical work, I just make 4 or 5 decisions a day. But what I do see is my team. And I can say, hey, you're really great in that position. Stay there. You suck. Get out of the team. Or I'm going to move you from this position to, like a reception. You may be not good there, but you're going to be good at something else in the business. So being a coach, you feel like you work so less, but you have time to think, which you didn't have time when you're so-called hustling and just running like a freaking mad woman. You're probably seeing 10 clients a day, then you got accounts, then you got to think how you're going to market your business, and you got to pay bills, and you're just running. You have that just go. But now your work is, you got time to think, because even if you,
but that's part of the job too. Huh?
That is full-time
it's the
job.
Most important
because
part.
That is like with me, for example, on the 6th of August, I'm taking my top 15 staff.
I feel like this is when I met you last time.
Yeah.
You took them to Vegas or something, didn't you?
This year I'm taking them to Europe. In 2 weeks, I'm taking them to Europe.
BC, I quit.
I'm working for you. But the thing is, I'm taking them to Europe. For a couple of weeks' time, we are just going. And with me, even last year, for 39 years in Europe, technically I didn't work, because all I was doing is just walking like 6 o'clock in the morning and just smelling the roses and enjoying amazing food, and it just everything was so good. But I had time to think and make some decisions. And on those 39 days, I probably made 3 decisions. When you think to yourself, that's really lazy, right? But it takes a lot to put your mind in the right space where you can actually make them. And but those 3 decisions have changed my life in such a beautiful way. In an amazing way. So your work never slows. You just work differently now by having, even you going to Bali now, you're gonna see your business from a different perspective, because when you're in it, you don't have time to. Sometimes, when you're so busy, you don't have time. Specifically yourself, you're running multiple businesses. You got, correct me if I'm wrong, even education business that started, so people can learn everything you have learned over 10 years, correct?
Yes.
So again, you got more things to do.
Oh, I've got a lot to do.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got a lot to do.
The second you think
Yeah.
more, and I think there's the entrepreneurial spirit within you.
A lot. Going back to what I was saying, I just think it's more, I don't do my best work when I'm rushing it anymore. Like, I want this to come out.
I don't think
like
anybody does.
No. And I just think, like, I really want it to be done either way that is really well thought out, and I only give them what they really need, not half of the bullshit that can make it look like a good course because you've thrown a heap of shit in there. For me, I want it to be really impactful, and people are time poor at the moment. So yeah, I've got a lot of work to do, but for me, it's so huge. This is like one life, right? Yes. When you took on this, it's like, where do I want to go? What's part A, part B, part C? So for me, when I go to Bali, I want to actually...
There's only one bad news for you. Before you know, you're going to be freaking 50.
Oh, I know.
And then...
I've still got 30 years. So.
And then... I got fucking 40 then too. But then you're going to be 70.
I know.
Everything we are doing, there's one thing for sure.
Yeah.
The clock doesn't stop ticking.
I know.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck around for 5 years. Clock doesn't stop ticking. Just keeps going. Keeps going. Interesting. What does never give up mean to Danielle?
Never give up means to always fall forwards, no matter what happens. Or, you know, if you have setbacks, never give up. Just keep going, keep charging. Never give up. If you feel like giving up, there's a part of you that actually just needs to recalibrate or like reassess, figure out what your purpose is, and then you just keep going forwards. Just keep trying. And like, for me, failure is not a failure. It's just like learning. Just keep evolving, and we're all here to fucking learn, right? I hate when people be like, I know everything. No, you don't.
I know.
You did not create the fucking wheel.
I think more I know, more I see that, you know, how much I don't know really. If there's another little Danielle.
Juicy.
If there's another young Danielle in the corner, I mean, you're very young, by the way. But if there's a 15 or 18 years old Danielle watching you from that corner, what would you tell her what's ahead of her?
I would say buckle the fuck up. Buckle up, babe.
It's going to be a hard fucking road.
I just tell her to get excited and know that it's not... I was a very different woman at 15 and 18.
Yes.
As most of us are, but just a lot different. We would not be having this conversation right now with the 18-year-old. And I would just tell her that everything's going to be fucking fine and dandy. Just trust the process. And I think that's where the hustle comes from, is just keep moving forward.
Interesting. What's next for Danielle?
Bali for 60 days. Bali for 60 days, planning, taking some time out to just be back in my feminine and just chill and smell the roses. Because if I look back, I've got all my goals every year from when I was maybe like 23, 24.
Yes.
And if I look back at them, which I do quite often, is to see how far I've come, it's like I am right where I always wanted to be my whole life. Yes. I've got the 2 clinics, I've got the staff that I wanted, I've got the academy and the coaching brand. It's like, hang on a minute, like celebrate, like just chill out, because you're right where you wanted to be your whole life, and you've still got a whole life ahead of you. So just chill out. I'm going on long service leave. But
I think you're going to do your best work.
100%.
When you're actually away.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where your creativity is going to come. Funny thing is, I got a great friend of mine that we just had. He was one of our guest speakers at the event, Marty Fox. 18 months ago, he had massive issues with his heart. And he was in hospital for 3 months. And in that time, he had one office. Specifically, it was real estate office. By the time he got out of the hospital, he had 7. You know, so basically, you know, he had so much time to think and create when he's there alone, thinking how to expand and so on.
It's so important. I think you get to that stage that I was saying to you off camera, like, you get to that. I don't know if you've ever had it. Please share it with me if you have. But you get to that, like, it's almost like a fatigue or a plateau. And I'm kind of at that point, whereas and you've got to notice those signs, because if you start to fatigue and plateau or lose your passion, like, you have to take that break, or you have to take that recalibration to be able to come back stronger.
I feel that I'm a true animal with everything
You are
I do.
an animal.
I'm just like, and the funny thing is, I'm talking to my dad, and he's watching me, and he said, son, you got all the cars that most humans can dream of. I got 6 cars, and there's so much one person can drive. There's 6 cars, and I have 10 real estate offices, a successful development company. I'm building a $18 million home. Right now, it's going to be finished by Christmas.
How
Beyond
exciting.
dream home. It's amazing. And but no, Emil wants to take more. You know what? Let's start One Life Club and build it now with an amazing team of people. It's like over 20 staff now. Let's build an international company. No, let's also do other things. And he said, son, why? I said, Dad, that's my why. Because and my why is this. There's a saying, maybe I'm just old-fashioned in a lot of ways. In every surname, there's going to be, or in every generation, I guess, there's going to be one person in one, so my surname goes from 1500s, like last 500-600 years. In every surname is going to be one person that's going to change direction of that family, full stop. And, in my family for the last 500-600 years, since they can go back, everybody's been so poor, nothing wrong with that, as long as you're a happy individual. But I know that I can change direction of my surname for better, which means money is not everything. Actually, it's a lot. Other day, my little dog had a cancer. Ooh. And if I didn't have $30,000, he'd be dead by now. Do you know what I mean? So I got him the best freaking vets in the country, best surgeon in the country for little puppy. So my little doggy freaking lives well. But what I mean, change direction of the surname, I can help get better education. I can, if that's what they want, or I can get, better health or better childcare centers, or I can get them, I can establish enough that they don't have to, stress for other generations like I used to stress. That's my drive, because I know I'm the one in my fucking family to make the difference for 10 generations, like King Charles or whatever they are, I'm a king and queen. There was somebody thousands or 2,000 years ago in their surname, I guess, that made a change, and then 2,000 years later they still have king and queen and things. And I know I wanted to be that person. And I always say, people, I ask my staff, I'm going to pick on a few guys in my office. I ask them this question, which is powerful in my mind. And one specific gentleman, he's got 3 kids under the age of 6. I asked him one question. If you die today, will your family be okay tomorrow? Which means, will your kids have food on the table? Is your wife going to stress about her mortgage that you left, whatever? If you think they're going to be stressed for a second, work fucking harder. Maybe that's old school in me. So next, holiday, and then back to the jungle.
Holiday, and then come back, and I'm hoping that I'm so full that I've got, when you feel like you've got 3 or 5 of you in one.
Yeah,
that's how I normally feel. But right now I'm just Dan. And normally I have about 3 or 4 in me. And so, when I come back, I definitely want to feel like that again. And I want to be in here more to help the girls, because right now, the last 6 months I've been focused on the academy and the coaching. So I definitely want to be in here that's why I created this beast, right? Is to be face to face. I love human interaction and connection. And so I want to be back in here and doing what I do best. And so just academy coaching.
This. Sometimes things that we are searching for are right in front of us.
Like?
Whatever that is in your head. Do you know what I mean? That is,
No.
when we are searching for stuff, we already have it.
No, I know.
We just don't.
I feel like
see
you
it, I
can't
guess.
find that here.
Yes.
You need, like for me personally,
Yes.
I need to remove myself, evacuate mission, abort mission,
Yes.
abort mission.
Burn the ships, go one way.
Yes.
Full stop. Tell us about your academy.
So the academy, we train.
Tell us what people can get out of your 10 years.
Yeah. So we fundamentally train other people that want to start in the industry. So whether that be as entrepreneurial or work for somebody else. So we train people in all the things that we do. So lash, brow. I do the dermal side. Australia's best in dermal therapy last year, just to put it out there.
I know even a lot of our words.
So just train people in what we do. We train people in the fundamentals of all the services, but then we train people in the marketing side and the customer care and the systems and the processes, and that's what I'm passionate about. So I train people in the business model and how to scale on small amounts, not talking to Emil here, so not in big amounts like you. Small, everything's...
Look, to be honest, we all need to focus on our amounts.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a friend of mine. He's worth $3 billion, actually 6 now, just so part of his company. So my big amount to him is like, Emil, he's still playing with the kids.
Shut up, Emil.
Exactly, still playing with kids. So as long as we just focus on our own.
But so we train people, thank you. We train people in, everything beauty, but then we also train people in the business component side of things as well. So my big thing is in leadership and delegation and communication and culture. And so all of that sort of stuff, that's what I do really well. And then I have my other team members that do other things really well as well. So they come in and do different components. So we train people in the fundamentals and then obviously how to scale. But then I do one-on-one work with other entrepreneurs or other business owners, but I only specialize in the beauty industry at the moment. So that's what the academy and the coaching is all about.
The difference by your academy and your coaching is practical because you have done it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's massive difference shift in education. I went to, for example, to TAFE and I meant to study business management and the teacher was supposed to be teaching me how to run a business.
Never run a business in his life.
He's working for $60,000. There's nothing wrong with $60,000, but he never felt the pain of business, what a cash flow is, what it is to pay the rent, staff, everything else, go and hunt for the business on your own skin, and then if there's 2 cents left to you to breathe. So with you, every time I see somebody that is sharing their knowledge through their classes, and it's big difference when you have practical, because you're only sharing what you know, and you're also sharing, I guess, your mistakes so people don't make them. Because I'm guessing when you were starting, that you were climbing the mountain on your own.
Oh, definitely. I was the first business owner in my family. My family I'm a weirdo.
So maybe you are the one that is changing the direction.
Exactly. This is why we get along. Yeah. DNA breakage. But and I guess I definitely can resonate with when you said that. It's a big something that's really close to my heart is to be able to look after my family and look after the people that I love, and it's something that we didn't have growing up. So that's probably where the hustle comes from too, for sure. Very similar. I think we've had this conversation off air, maybe, amongst the facial.
Great facial. I look forward to watching what you do next, and it's interesting to reflect. I had lunch with a friend of mine that I went to high school with him, and I'm 44 now. He's 44, same age, and I came to Australia when I was 16 and went to grade 10, 11, and 12 here, and then we were reflecting where are our friends 7 years later. And it's interesting to see the journey that everybody has taken, and people that you thought they're gonna go up or down or whatever, everybody just journey played up differently. Your next 20 years is the one that I will be excited to watch.
Yeah, I'm very excited too. Yeah. It's very unknown waters at the moment. It's just like,
That's just business in
just
general.
take the break, come back with a plan, have this conversation with you in 8 weeks. Let's make it 4. I feel like 4 will be the fun
You'll be like,
part.
Camille, I'm fucking coming back.
I'm coming back,
Full
I'm
stop.
ready.
What is one advice you would give anybody that wants to start business like yours?
I think any business in general is to always come back to your purpose and your why. And I'm sure you can agree it's something that just always pulls you along, because there's a lot of fucking pushing when it comes to business, and it can get tiring and exhausting. And then people think you can't make it, and then people think you're weird and you're not committing to all the social events that you're meant to be because you're not showing up. So I think making sure that you really have a big why and a big purpose, because when shit goes down, you always come back to that. Or
You
when
gotta remember
things go,
why you started that at first
absolutely. So and also always having a plan and a vision is very important. So that's definitely where I spend a lot of my time is questioning people's why and making sure you're coming back to purpose and you've got a really clear vision. So that would be my first piece of advice. If you've got any listeners that are in my industry, I think choosing the right mentor, choosing the right academy, whether that be through a training organisation, a registered training organisation or otherwise, I think choosing somebody that's got the right experience is similar to you in real estate. Is if you choose the wrong trainer, you can have a real bad bum steer. So just making sure that you get the best trainer in the industry and get around people that are doing what you've already done, I think is really key in my industry. And it is a very small industry. I think making sure that you just stay in any business, stay in your own lane, right?
Yeah. Not get distracted. Because in business, very easy to get distracted.
You can get pulled in all different ways.
Correct.
And I guess that's why I always say come back to the vision, and your core value is your core why is, because when you get pulled in different directions, decisions is a lot in our role. So I think when you've got that there, it's that stability and certainty of knowing where I'm going, and decisions aren't as hard then when you actually have that. It's not really a decision if you already kind of know where you're going. It's just a flat out no.
Thank you, Danielle.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.